What's good, everyone? Welcome to my last update for the season upcoming 2026 Supercoach with Bizzi, continuing what we had going last year. As you can see, actually, as you cannot see, in the top corner, we have 1 day and 1 hour till lockout. First lockout of the year. I wanted to give an update on my final team that we're rolling into this year. Now, you've got most of the team in front of you right now. I'm going to explain a little bit of the choices I have made and a little bit more of the thinking. Opening round this year started as a bit of a sample size into a lot of players and their roles, and it cemented some of my earlier picks that I had before the opening round started. So from the get-go, just wanted to give a small update on the channel. I'm looking to ramp up the videos I've got every week. I will be releasing every week an update on my team and how it performed, and also every week a rolling into trades and that sort of thing, and just a performance review basically for my team. Further from that, I'm looking to make a little bit more short form content on my TikTok and YouTube shorts. Just some updates on particular players, some deep dives into particular players and positions. Just wanting to give a little bit more of an insight into some of the choices that I make. So from the get-go, I'll just basically go through from my defenders to midfielders, rucks to forwards, and then my flex spot. If you watched my previous video, a lot of what I have on here is similar to what I had rolled into from the opening round, but there's a couple changes that I have made, and you probably can see on the front of your screen right now those changes I have made. So I'll go from the start. Let's start off. So we got Sinclair, who is still in my main D1 position. I have still chosen to go with Sinclair over Nasaya. I really thought about getting the two of them for a stage because I think that Naz, the game he had, he'll bounce back. But it more cemented my spot on Sinclair itself and the choice that I have made. So he was free down back. Nasaya got a lot of the attention and didn't really have a great game. He got around a 60 or so. And that is in his price cycle now, I believe. So the upcoming schedule, when he does come around again, his price is probably most likely going to go down a little bit. So I would, just keep that in mind. Maybe starting Nasaya might be, not starting Nasaya might be a play because you can pick him up potentially down the line a little bit cheaper if he has a couple stinkers coming. We hope that he just returns back to what his usual self is, but that has cemented my spot on Sinclair. Absolutely just getting a lot of the bowl down back, and he's going to mop it up down there. I think he displayed it late last year, and he displayed it opening round when he was mopping it back down there. So not a lot of explanation. You can see the score in front of you for my pick, and I stand by that pick, and I have had that pick for a while. Rosie, also pretty self-explanatory. He is also going to be that mopping up roll down back report. Same pick as I had originally. It will probably get a little bit more midfield time as we saw in the practice matches. Looking into his role, he probably will stay 70% halfback, around 30% midfield is what my thoughts are. And I'm willing to take that at his role, and he's going to score great. We got McKercher. I've still held strong with McKercher, even though he has that finger injury. He's predicted to play round one against Port, so I think he's going to have a breakout year. I'm holding my hopes out that he is going to have a breakout year. His ownership keeps going down and down and down, so he's at that 20% ownership clip right now, I think. So I'm holding strong. I think he is going to show us what the player he is. All he needs to do is just make his efficiency a little bit better, and then we're going to see massive scores from him. And then we go to our first change that I have made. So I can't remember exactly what I had in that place for him. I think it was Keen Coleman. I saw his role on the weekend, and it was he's playing a little bit of a floater role. Pick him and put him anywhere you can, sort of thing. So that's going to be up and down, and I don't really like the up and down roller coaster type of scores in some players that we do get. So I've gone to Windsor, who has really been hyped up this preseason for getting a lot more midfield time. I had him a couple years ago, I think, on that wing role when he used to play that wing, and he was okay, rookie type scores. But if he is really unleashing that midfield, when who's in the midfield now? We got Steele's in the midfield. We got Viney and Gorn. I think that Windsor can, at at his price point, if we get like 80s or something like that, I'm happy with that, to be honest, because he's going to rise in price slowly but surely. And I think that, yeah, I'll start him off. He has not played, so he doesn't have that early buy either. Always a bonus. Now we have this next dude who I cannot for the life of me know how to pronounce his name. Who knows how to pronounce his name? Like real. I'm not even going to attempt it because don't flame me for not knowing. But he's been highly touted through the preseason. One of the Richmond's higher picks. He's going to have a great start to the season, and having that defensive mid DPP status is always handy. So I've elected to go on with himself. Lindsay, he's a really obvious pick. He's going to get a lot of the ball, West Coast. There's not a lot of options there, so definitely just go with Lindsay on the bench even. And then we got two dudes who did play. We got Sarong, who looked great. Lots of the ball. At times, he looked like he was rushing a bit, but he's going to, yeah, be cemented in there for a while. He's going to have that role where he's able to make a few mistakes every now and then. And then we got, is it Jacques, I think? Or Jax. I think it's Jax potentially. He looks great as well. He's just mopping it up as well as a rookie. The 84 in his price cycle already is someone, even if he puts out a stinker next week, 32, that 84 is already in his cycle and it's going to raise his price in the future. So jump on him now while you can. That's the defense. Not a super change. Lots of those big premiums are the same. And that's really what matters. A lot of these bench rookies really depend on the selection. So I'm trying to get this video out before selection comes through. Right now, Richmond and Carlton is the only one that we've had selection for. So we've got some debutants and that sort of thing, but not full team lists just yet. I'm waiting for those to really cement in my rookies, so, and bench rolls. So don't look into it too far just yet. Now, midfield. Butters, self-explanatory. He's going to have biggest year on file so far. Contract year. Lots of time in the midfield. Really, really easy run. Port have easiest in the AFL this year. Just get Butters if you want to be serious about this year. That's for sure. Start with him, for sure. Dacos. 117. He looked great out there, getting tons of the ball. Got a tag in the second half and still got a ton of the ball. It's Dacos. I think that's also very self-explanatory. You can probably choose to not start with Dacos if you really want to make a bold move. But in my case, I want to start with Dacos. Now, what you probably can see is I have phased Bont out. I know that Bont scores well regardless of his positioning. He scores well because his efficiency is great and he's just that type of player. But yeah, I don't know. I can't pay up that amount, that 700,000 amount. I think that later on he will get down a little bit cheaper, so we can pick him up. I don't know, maybe 50,000 cheaper than what he is right now, which is still better. It just depends on who's he versing. He's versing GWS, so not even that easy of a game coming up. So I'm just going to hold out for now. We got Goulden. I've decided to go with Goulden because Sydney's run is also quite easy, to be honest with you. They're rolling into versing Brisbane, which is not a great one, but from there's a few easy games coming up. Has already played, so we will have an early bye. I was tossing up between Goulden and a Brayshaw or Sarong, to be honest, and I've opted for Goulden because I don't have any like Swan premiums in my team, and I already have Young in my Freo midfield, and I want to mix that team aspect around for the buys later on in the year, kind of setting up for make my life a little bit easier when it comes to that sort of thing. So Goulden, Sydney are a different team with Goulden. If Goulden's playing well, Sydney are playing well. So I really think that Sydney are going to absolutely feed him as much as I can. He's their big facilitator. None of their other midfields are as, what can I say, consistent as he is. If he stays healthy, that is. We got Heaney, can be up and down. Chad Warner can be up and down. Goulden's they're one piece in the midfield where that holds their fort, which I am banking on. Now we roll into Oliver, who I didn't have my original side. Clayton Oliver. I still watched him on the weekend, and I thought, you know what? I would be silly not to. He's in a new environment. We know this type of scores he was putting up 3 years ago, top of Supercoach. I've always known he's capable of this. I had him last year, and he was putting up decent scores. With the news, or not the news, it's known, but with Tom Green out for the whole year due to that ACL, Clayton Oliver has got free reign in that midfield. I don't feel like Clayton Oliver is the taggable type of player. I think that Finn Callahan is going to get a little bit more attention, which means that should leave Clayton Oliver a little bit free most of the time to put up some big scores. And I think that, yeah, he's worth the risk. I love players in those new roles coming from a team to a different team. It's always intriguing and it always catches me out. So that might be me in this stage, but I've seen the 121 and I've said, you know what, I can't pass up the opportunity. Hayden Young hasn't changed from when we started. He's going to have a lots more midfield time. Back from injury. Hopefully he stays healthy, but he's a great price and he has put up some decent scores, very high ceiling scores. So I've thought, yep, why not? And then Tanner Bruin, I have elected to go over Parrish. I just think that Bruin has a little more upside where Parrish can kind of drop off. He's played a lot of B teams in the past. I just think that Bruin has a lot more upside when it comes to scoring potential and longevity. So we're going to want to give him some time because of how young he is compared to Parrish. That's just my thinking when it comes to that sort of thing. You could do either or, and I wouldn't really care, to be honest. I put Parrish in there for my team, and I'm like, okay, sure, fine. It was between the two, and I thought, I don't know, I'd rather Bruin in there. They'll be good to Sharp. He is highly touted. Essendon already got the debut. I've seen the news that he is debuting. So, yep, get him in. Jagger Smith, 65. But if you watch the game, potentially that 65 isn't really indicative of how good he was. I think he started off really well. Lots of midfield time and lots of touches. It was just that efficiency that was lacking a bit, probably that early rookie nerves. But I think that along the lines, down term, he's not going to get dropped, really. He shouldn't get dropped after that performance. Just probably potentially rising star this year. So, of course, everyone has him. If you don't have him, you're not playing serious. Then we got Edwards. He looked good in the preseason, have had him for a while. Carroll was fine. A little bit of midfield time, 54. You take that for his price range. And then Watkins, I'm still questioning if it is the pick. We are solely basing that on the team list to come out later. So do not pick up Watkins watching this video. Just keep an eye on him. That basement price of 99,000. Just keep an eye on him because it could be Will Brodie. Who knows what really happens? I'm just waiting for that team sheet to come out, and he will fill that last spot on that bench. Then we go to our rucks, have stayed true. We got Jerry and Jackson. Jerry, I just think he's got a pretty good run. The ruck rules, I don't think, are going to change his role too bad. Hopefully, we'll see. To be honest, my viewpoint is if it does change his scoring into a worse trend, we have him at that high price, so we can jump ship if we do need to someone who's really adapting to the new rules. So that's why I'm starting with him, so we can have that availability to jump down if we do need. And Luke Jackson, he's the everything man for that Freo. So I'm just, yeah, Jackson feels like a good pick for me. I don't think I'm going to have to worry about that one. And then McAndrew on the bench, he is actually taking over the number one ruck spot of Riley O'Brien, is what I've seen. So we're going to keep an eye on that, but that should be some really good cash generation on the bench right there. We're silly not to stick him there, I think, to be honest. Especially if you've got Reedy in that spot. If you watched the Carlton game last week, opening round, you would know why I'm saying that. Reedy looked awful, and I'm not sure if he even gets a game this week. Don't know, but he looked pretty bad. Shizu, I've held strong on Shizu the whole time. He is the Kangaroos' next generation player. Yeah, Shizu, he's great. I've had him every year for the past 3 years. He's my stronghold, basically. And he's got that forward and midfield DPP, which is super handy when you're working trades in the future and buys. Not that I have any midfielders in the middle that have that forward status, but down the line, we'll figure it out, and that does come in handy. Petrarca, absolutely massive. I was strong on Petrarca the whole time. I did have Anderson in my original team, and I took Anderson out just for the sheer fact that I don't know. He could have scored really big. Everything, his role looks good. He was 1 goal 4, which probably hurt his score a little bit. He could have gone even bigger than what he did. But I don't know. I've already got the Petrarca pick in my team. I feel like Anderson was a good pick. If you pick Anderson, he's good. I could replace Anderson with a Gordon or Oliver, but I've just banking a little bit on them scoring maybe 5 points less than Anderson week in, week out. And for that price that they are right now, I'll take it. So I've just decided to go with them for now. But Petrarca, also a no brainer with his big score. He's loving life at the Gold Coast, as you can see. Yeah, he's got that forward. He's probably going to be the top forward for the year. And my thoughts are with that new role in the Gold Coast. Flanders, 77, really highly rated. He has got that role. Score wasn't that big, but for his price, he's going to get a bit better and better, learning the role at St Kilda. Philippou, similar role. He's a little bit more of that King Coleman type where he floats around a bit. 66 score, pretty good. You're going to take that. Todd Marshall, I've had for a while. Had a great practice match. He's got an easy run, and he's going to be that twin tower type of thing with Aaliyah, getting those intercept marks. He could read the ball super well, so I think the positioning down back, change of position, is really good, and he probably will score decent for his price. I'm thinking at the 70 region, to be honest, so nothing like on field score, but great for building his price point. Robertson is also that type at down back who's going to mop it up a little bit, so he's a lock for myself. Lomhard looked electric. He is that little small forward type, so I did say be wary of those types just due to my Kako encounters last season, but he looks like a level above from Kako even. He's drifts up the forward, down, like up the ground a bit. Was really fast, a little bit sloppy at sometimes, but he's a rookie, of course, he's going to be. And then Finley McRae, I just waiting for team sheets regarding him. I don't know if he's the pick yet. We'll wait for the team sheets to see what they're saying before we move for that pick. And then what you cannot see, but I can, is the flex position pick I've had since the start of the season. Connor Budrick, he's not a point of difference anymore, unfortunately. It is what it is, but from the start of the season, I just knew that he was going to be a really good pick. And judging by the 105, he is. Dale, we don't know what's going to happen with Dale if he comes back into the same role he was playing, taking a little bit of that scoring away from Budrick. But does it really matter if Budrick is scoring 105 for the first start of the season while Dale is out? I'm not so sure. We can easily move him on. I'm just trying to see if I could work him out to be in my actual forward spot so I can get potentially a DPP player in the flex position. That's something that I am still pondering and seeing what I can do. But it's not a big deal. He's in my team, and I had him. Actually started him last year. He really showed out for Gold Coast initially, and then he made me look like a fool. I think I mentioned in the last video. Put out like a 30 or something. What can you do? But for some reason, I drift to him, and I think around 20% of the competition have seen this score of 105, and they've also seen potentially the amount of ball he's getting down back. So he's being jumped on as well. So it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. All I can say is that I was on him from the get-go. I'm actually thinking of making a short regarding him, of how you should start him in the forward spot, just due to the price and the run and that sort of thing. So watch out for that video. It will be coming soon. But yeah, that's my team. I just wanted to do a quick update just to give an overview of what we're going to be rolling into. This is not completely set in stone. This is a rough guide of what we're going to roll with. So if you see a video next week with a updated team performance review, you might see a couple of differences when it comes to that rookie side of things, but the actual premiums I'm pretty set in stone with from what I've got on screen. So let me know if there's any improvements I can make to the team, anything that you think I've made an oversight in, anything that you just give me some general advice, to be honest, because I'm in that stage of learning as well. I'm trying for that top 500 this year. It's just a learning curve from getting to that potentially, like, I'm usually at top 3,000, but I'm nothing more than the top 1,000. So I'm trying to get to that upper echelon area. If there's anything you can let me know about, please let me know. Even buying Supercoach Plus this year, who knows? If that gets me a leg up, maybe it's something I'll have to do. Yeah, just let me know. Put any comments in the comments, of course. But thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you for supporting. Last video got a couple views, so happy about that one. But yeah, keep on the eye out. Hope everyone has a great season ahead, and happy super coaching, everyone. Cheers.